Jay, music legend Tina Turner passed away yesterday. I'm at her home in Switzerland, and of course, we're seeing all the tributes and people coming out, everyday people, celebrities, etc., talking about how much her music meant. One of the things that crossed my mind that I wanted to ask you about is, we are, in a space of where our legends are leaving us. Specifically, when it comes to music, music really does tell a lot of the Black story, or it has. And so I'm just thinking about it from even from an activism space, like, what does that mean, and who's going to be telling our story specifically through music as we continue on?
That's a great question. Shout out to her family. Tina Turner was definitely a legend. It's funny when you learn about her story. My age, our age, we grew up in the, What Love Got to Do with It, not just with a song. Then the movie, so in that middle 80s type time when that type of stuff came out, Private Dancer, that song, all that stuff came out mid 80s. We didn't even realize what she did 20 years before that. You know what I'm saying? We only knew her as that. And then we learned some stuff from the movie, What Love Got to Do with It. But she's just super dope. She lived her life. She's 80 something years old, but she lived the life though. She can't, I'm okay with her leaving this world when she lived. That woman lived and she left a legacy. The prayer is that the sisters and just entertainers, actually take the lesson from her. A lot of time we don't. We're just too busy trying to carve out our own situation where you had a lot of people, parents, celebrities, whoever, that created a platform for you. They work their ass off to make sure that you can have it easier, that you can be who you need to be. You think about a Tina Turner, who a lot of our generation know her as the woman who was beat by Ike, but you find out that she had a 30-year marriage after that. You see what I'm saying? So the giving up on love, the I ain't gonna find nobody else to marry me, and all that other stuff like that. I'm just gonna be my own woman and all this other stuff. That wasn't televised. That wasn't talked about. It should have been. You know what I'm saying? It should have been. It was always just the part about her getting beat by Ike. But she was a 30-year marriage after divorcing Ike of love, from what is told. She found the love of her life. She didn't have to do anything drastic to do it. She just continued to be a beautiful woman, beautiful performer, and she went ahead on and found someone else, and she had an amazing relationship with this person. That's dope. Got her kids. I'm sure they're doing well for themselves and things of that nature. Like, let's use that. Let's talk about that. How she bounced back as a performer. Let's talk about that. A lot of the people from back in those days, they owned their own masters and they did all these other amazing things that everybody crying about today. They not able to do it with all of the things. She didn't have what you got now, So she should be celebrated. I'm looking forward to the award shows that's coming up this year that should be celebrating her and honoring her. I know that she had like a documentary out like 20 years ago. Of course, they're gonna be playing that, and I just challenge the kids to learn who she was, and the type of amazing titan of industry that she was when it comes to the music industry, and she actually was able to do some groundbreaking stuff. The first woman to do a lot of these things, and she should be forever, held that crown up there. But we should just be grateful too for her and her story. So that's what I want. It just don't misconstrue the story. It's just, we love telling the bad stuff, man. We love telling the bad stuff when that woman got 83 years of life, and she probably was with Ike for a blip of that time in the grand scheme of things. And that's all we got to talk about is her and Ike Turner. That woman has lived an amazing life. Her movie came out 30 something years ago now. And she was way away from Ike at that time for at least 15 years. And they still got, because it was only talking about her and Ike Turner. What she did over those last 30 years, she was performing 70 something years old. She lived in Switzerland. That lets you know she ain't had to stay here. She lived in Switzerland. There's so much you can learn from her. Just don't take her for granted. Don't take her lessons that you can learn from her for granted.